So this is my home. About a year ago, my husband and I decided to get rid of our apartment and all of our belongings and to live a life on the road. We thought, if we can work from home, why can't home be anywhere we want it to be? Our goal is to travel at a pace that allows us to capture the subtlety of neighborhoods and cities that we visit. This means we don't end up with your typical backpacker checklist of tourist sites and countries visited, but we move along at a slow pace that allows for exploration, yet still facilitates a normal work schedule. Now, I could put on my travel blogger hat and I could tell you guys all kinds of things we did, including like a 9-course brunch in Buenos Aires, or about climbing the teeniest little spiral staircase to get up to the top of the Gamboa rainforest in Panama so that we could look out over the canopy. But I don't want to bore you with travel stories. If you can just follow me on Twitter if you want to see those. For more of that, and what I'm here to talk to you about today are the nitty-gritty details of how we do what we do. Previously, we had a really comfortable life here in Chicago. We're both homebodies, so our home was one of the biggest priorities for us. It was really great, and we spent way too much time there. We knew it was time for us to take the plunge. We could always move back, but if we got more established, bought a house, had a kid, the window of opportunity might pass us by. So we had a garage sale to end all garage sales. Technically, this is not a garage. This was our living room, but we set out a little exhibition of sorts to sell all of our things. And with the help of a few good friends, we sorted and priced out our belongings from the first 4 years of married life, and we got rid of everything in one weekend. And I only have one pair of pants right now, I can tell you honestly today. And I also got to wear this cool fanny pack full of $1 bills that I got to make change with, so that was really fun. So what did that leave me with? How do I function without all my stuff? I narrowed down my wardrobe to fit into one internationally sized carry-on bag. And since we plan to skip as much wintertime as possible, it's kind of great. I don't need so much in the way of clothing. My philosophy about clothes is instead of having a closet stuffed full of options, I have a few things I really love. And as you can see, I get a lot of use out of the same item. But the downside is when you wear the same thing all the time, your photos look like you just took them all in one day. But since we're mostly hanging out in cities, the cool thing is I can just go pick up whatever I need at that time. Going on random scavenger hunt, it's a great way to get to know your new neighborhood a little bit better. And who knows who you might meet along the way. I also carry some other miscellaneous gear with me. And a while back when I blogged this photo, there was a grumpy commenter who was like, "Oh, why so much electronics? Does everybody have to be a blogger these days?" And this was a really confusing criticism for me because he was leaving a comment on a blog. But electronics are vital for this way of life, not only for work, but it's really important for us to stay in touch with our friends and our really cute little family members who are scattered all over the place. But the biggest logistic that we deal with during this time is, where do we live? Luckily for us, we live during this time of Airbnb, VRBO, HomeAway, all these great services, and it allows us to just live in other people's homes. So I do also have this kind of embarrassing confession to make. People often ask me, how do you know which neighborhood to choose to live in? Because that's kind of a big decision when you're moving to all of these different cities all of the time. I Google hipster neighborhoods. And I hate to say that. And I clear my browser history right away because I don't even want to admit that that's what I do, but I do. And it has been really great. So if you guys are looking for places to stay, I would recommend that. It's pretty awesome. But even the most precise Googling, it just doesn't cover everything. And so this was across the street from a place we stayed in Austin, and that mailbox just really freaked me out. It was 7 feet tall, and I didn't understand why, how big is that dog? I don't know. So the point is, having less stuff means that we are more mobile. We can carry everything we own on our backs and be on to the next location at a moment's notice. To me, this parallels really nicely with my day job. As I go throughout my day building and designing websites, I can't help but constantly think about how mobility affects what we build on the web. Mobile design slims things down and streamlines information into only the most basic of components. Does it sound familiar? This is how I live my life. And so it's that simplicity that makes this not only sustainable, but attainable for others, maybe even some of you out here today. We don't have a trust fund, and we're not supported by a billionaire patron, but if somebody's here, what's up? This kind of life works because we shift our focus away from possessions and emphasize experiences. It's only by letting go that we've been able to gain so much. Thank you, guys.